This is Eric Rutan of Cannibal Corpse. You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast with Andrew McKay Smith.
G'day everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. I have a chat with French blues rocker Laura Cox to share with you. The catalyst for the conversation with Laura is due to the launch of her third album. It'll see light of day on January 30, 2023, and it is titled Head Above Water. It'll be released via Ear Music. She's a delightful chat, I must say. Laura, she was in the midst of rather a large block of conversation, so I try to make it as interesting as I can for her. Hopefully that comes across. I did enjoy talking to her, and I have a tune to share with you before the chat. This one is titled, which one have I picked for you? I think I'd have that organised for you in advance. I think I do. Do I? Yeah, I do. So Long, because there's a video out on YouTube that you can watch right now. So this is called So Long. It is taken from Laura's album, Head Above Water, and once it's done, we'll dive into the chat with the French blues rocker herself. Let's go.
Lately I've been losing sleep, but winning my life back. When my dreams turn to misery and life has turned to death, you know I won't be the one who always seems to listen what I'm told. Can't believe it took so long to get where I'm standing now. Always thought it was so long, trying to keep this voices down. Got a ringing in my head and a buzzing in my brain. Never get out on my mind, and it's all right by me. Change of plan, no more pact with the devil. You're all the same, a pack of wolves, nothing special. I'm all to blame for being this lone rebel. Now who's the rebel? Who's the rebel now? 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 Who's the rebel? So long to get where I'm standing now. Always thought it was so long, trying to keep these voices down. Got a ringing in my head and a buzzing in my brain. Never get out on my mind, and it's all right by me. So long to get where I'm standing now. Always thought it was so wrong, trying to keep these voices down. Got a ringing in my head and a buzzing in my brain. Never get out on my mind, and it's all right by me. It's all right by me. It's all right by me. It's all right by me.
I'm really excited about. I really hope we can come to Australia. So I'm really happy to be talking with Australian media.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, your album will do well down here. You're probably aware of that because this is the sort of music that Australians have already picked up on the Joe Bonamassa thing, and you're adjacent to what's going on there with Joe. So has there been a lot of promotion, apart from these sort of calls, of course, but is there a lot of promotion into Australia at the moment with this excellent new album?
I think we're starting we're starting with the interviews, and then we'll see how it goes. But at the moment, I don't have an Australian booker, so I think I'm going to search for one, and I really hope we can come and tour and promote the third album soon this year. So, but for now, yeah, starting with interviews, and we'll see how's the feedback, you know.
Yeah,
once the
exactly.
album's released.
Yeah. So the album is called Head Above Water. And I guess I've already alluded to what this question might be, but do you feel like as though this is the album, you're 3 albums in, that is going to give you the push into the next tier, the one that you deserve to go to?
It's hard to say. I never really think about this because I'm mostly focusing on the music. I wish maybe it's gonna take a different turn. Maybe we're gonna go further. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to say because rock is not the most popular genre, so we'll never fill stadiums. But maybe it's gonna push a bit. So, and for now, the feedbacks we had is really good with the singles and from the media and everything. So I'm crossing my fingers, but even if we're staying at our level, I enjoy playing clubs, and the music is still enjoyed by a lot of people. So we'll see. I don't want to expect too much, so I'm not disappointed, but I'm already really excited about this release. Just being able to release new music and a new album is already really rewarding, and I'm so grateful for this.
Yeah, yeah. Something that I notice you do very well is social media and the YouTube thing. Probably better than any other blues rock guitarist around at the moment, I must say. So is that easy for you to do? Do you find that comes to you easy?
Not really. Honestly, I should take care of this more because I should be more active and present on the social media. I'm the one in charge of this. And maybe compared to old blues rocker, I'm better, but I could be better when I see everything that's being done with all the people and the bands I'm following. There's a room for improvement, So I'm trying to post when I have to, but I'll try to put more effort in this year, and especially when a new album is out, there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I know. I'm hearing you. Yeah, something I noticed as well. You've played some metal festivals such as Hellfest, this sorts of thing, and you've done some festivals across Europe. Do you find that it's the metal fan that connects with your music?
I think so. We have kind of a wide range of styles, in our music. Sometimes it can go from I never played metal, but it can go from bluegrass country rock to hard rock. So, which means that we can possibly be booked for blues festivals, country rock festivals, but also for hard rock and metal. Even if we are a bit softer than most of the bands, I know that the audience enjoy these our kind of music because at least it gives a bit of a time to breathe in between two metal shows. So I really enjoy playing in hard rock festivals because the welcoming of the audience is always good. Even if sometimes I'm thinking, okay, are we hard enough? Is it going to be okay? And in the end, I think if we are booked in the festivals, it's for a reason, and I'm doing my job playing the music, and then. If the people don't like it, they can still switch to another stage,
So you're doing very well in Europe, and I have no doubt you'll obtain an audience here in Australia. But we all know that the United States is where a lot of the money's at. So has the audience given you a style of music is effectively an American artifact, being its blues? Do you have a big audience, or do you feel like as though you could obtain a big audience in the United States?
It feels like it, but it's hard to say because we've never played there. So when I'm looking at my stats, on YouTube, for example, the majority of the people are from the US, but it's so big that it's hard to know if in a precise venue we would have a big audience or not. So, but we're definitely gonna try this soon, and hopefully this year too, like Australia, the US. I really want to try this this year. Try to find a booker and come for a small tour. I'm not saying a lot of gigs, but at least, I don't know, 5 or 6 just to test a bit, to see how's the feedback and if maybe there's something to do there. Because if I'm believing the stats from the social media, there's something to do. I'm really, really excited. But in Europe, there's always places to go. We are mostly touring in France, but also Germany, Spain, Romania, Poland, Portugal, it's Italy. So they're also a big scene for this year. But of course, I would like to explore more at some point.
Mm. Have you been invited to collaborate with a lot of well-known and renowned musicians?
Collaborate, maybe not, but I toured with different artists that I'm really looking up to, like James Nichols. We are a bit on the same style of music, like blues rock. We toured together in Spain, and I had the chance to play for some big festivals with big lineups, and I didn't really collaborate with them, of course, but having my name next to the Foo Fighters or the Guns N' Roses on some festivals poster is really I don't know, really exciting.
Yeah, you made it. You're doing it. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you're doing what so many of us, some of you, but never happened for me. I didn't have your talent, but you've just got this extraordinary talent, but you're also working hard to obtain this audience. So when just talking about the album again, were there any challenges, unexpected challenges that you had to face when you were crafting Head Above Water?
Not really. I think for the first time, I was finally free to do what I wanted. I kind of stopped listening to everybody, because for the previous albums, it was always sort of complicated to hear what I wanted. Every time I was bringing a riff, there was always someone saying, but no, we have to change this and this. And for this album, it went really smooth in a really, really nice atmosphere. And for the first time, it was easy. So I really enjoyed making this album. I mostly wrote it by myself when I was during the lockdown. I moved a bit near the ocean. I was in Portugal for a few months. And I mostly wrote the album there, and then when I came back to France and to Paris, we arranged everything with the bandmates.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, are you at a point where you can handpick the musicians you work with?
It's really hard to find musicians for my style of music, like musicians that are good, that are available, that are motivated, and it's hard. But I feel like we arrived to a point where I'm sure about the lineup, everything is going well, and but yeah, it's always complicated. We for example, it took years before we were happy about the bass player, and right now he's the best. So I'm really happy with the team at the moment, and we're in a good there's a good vibe, and everybody's really motivated, pushing this project up, and so it feels really nice.
What were the issues with the bass playing prior to the bloke coming on board now?
We had several bass players, but there was always something, like someone who wanted to be the boss of the band and to really write the songs. And the project is called Laura Cox, so it would be cool if I had my word to say, if I could say something. So there was this, and other like more not musically related problems. But I think we were not so lucky with the bass players. And Adrien, the bass player we have now, is really he's like proposing ideas and licks and arrangement ideas without imposing anything. And we're working in a really, really a good dynamic at the moment.
Yeah, that's so true, isn't it? It sucks when someone tries to come on board and take over, especially when the band is your name, it's your namesake. But do you find that, given your relative youth, some of the musicians have tried to come in, they've been a bit older and they've been tried to be a bit too dominant that way?
Yeah, I think that was part of the problem. I first started years ago on YouTube. I was really introvert. Then I thought, okay, we are going to start a band just between friends. It's going to be all happy and easy. But in the end, no, I wasn't saying anything, and I just let myself be. Not everybody was deciding for me, and I finally realized, okay, I have to take this in charge now. I never liked this role, but I'm the boss, whether I like it or not, and this is my name. So we started working in a different dynamic, and of course, like you said, I think being a woman working with men that are mostly older than me, sometimes it's hard to say no or to give orders. I hated this, and now I don't know. Now I'm in a mindset where I know that the team is supporting me. They're listening to me. If someone has something to say, it's open. We can talk, and we're working in a good vibe. And I'm finally able to say nicely but firmly when I have to stand up and talk. And this is something I really struggled doing the past years.
And do you draw most of your musicians from France, or do they come from Britain and all over Europe?
No, we're mostly touring in France, so it would be hard to gather, people. It would be expensive because since 2017 we were touring almost every weekend, so we couldn't buy tickets every weekend to go back and forth between several different countries. So the whole team is French. Initially they were all living in the same area as mine, like near Paris, but now the half of the team is from the east of France, near Germany. But it's okay like this. We managed to work this out.
Gotcha. Yeah. Just focusing on the album again, were there any particular guitars, or so when you're writing a song, for example, do you go, this is going to suit the Strat or the Les Paul, that sort of thing?
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes, I already experiment this when I'm recording the demos, alone at home. I'm testing different tones, different guitars. But usually I already know when I have what I want the riff in mind, what I want to hear. I already know what guitar is going to suit best, is going to suit the song best. So so that when we arrive in the studio, because we don't have unlimited time in the studio, because every day is expensive. So that when we arrive in the studio for the real recording, I know exactly what I'm going to use, and we're saving time. But usually I know my instruments, so I know what to use where and when.
Do you have a big collection these days, or are you borrowing a lot of stuff?
I'm not borrowing, and I'm not really a collector. I have three. I would say I have three main guitars that I'm using at every shows, and that I'm mostly playing at home. And the rest is bass, banjo, lap steel, acoustic guitar. And maybe in total, I'm not sure. I have maybe a dozen electric guitars. But some of them are sleeping in the storage. Have been waiting for me in the storage for years. So but I wouldn't say I'm a big collector.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression you were a collector. I think it's a good thing. I'm firmly of the view, maybe we share this, that guitars are meant to be played, not in storage. In other words, if it's not being used, give it away or get rid of it or something.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, but that's what I'm trying to do. But there are guitars that I'm not using at the moment, but I don't really want to sell because, for example, I started uploading my first videos with an Epiphone Les Paul Slash, and I'm not using it so much at the moment, but that's not something I would like to sell either. So, yeah.
Yeah. One thing I've listened to the album a couple of times. It just sounds like it's a very organic tone that you've got. It doesn't sound like you're using a lot of effects and the like, which I think is great. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yes. Yeah, totally. We wanted something like quite pure and raw, and I wanted a fat crunch tone. And then once I had this, I didn't really need any pedals. I added some overdrive pedals for the lead parts to give a bit of push of gain and sustain. But the rest, it was quite plug and play. Whether I had my Les Pauls and a combination of Orange and Marshall amps, and it worked fine that way. So I didn't want to add more.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Well, it's been a lovely chat. I think you got another one in a minute or two's time, so I better let you go to that one. Well, thanks very much for the chat. As I say, I hope to see you down here. I'd love to watch you guys live, watch you perform.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really, I'll try to make this happen. I'm going to work for this because I'm really excited about coming to Australia. So I'll be keeping my fingers crossed and maybe see you on tour soon.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Great album. Congratulations on it. And yeah, to your point, hopefully see you down here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, and have a nice evening.
There she is, Laura Cox. What a lovely lady. Enjoyed that chat with her, and I do hope to see her when she comes down to Australia, as surely a tour will be on the horizon. Also, that chat was a bit different to the one with John Joseph from Cro-Mags and Blood Clot, wasn't it? Variety is the spice of life, ladies and gentlemen. Variety is indeed. Hope your Christmas or your Advent preparations are going well. I celebrate Christmas, so I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas if you're listening to this prior to December 25th, 2022. Okay, there are plenty more conversations, just like that one over at scarsandguitars.com. And if you like listening, maybe you like reading too, I've written a book. Click the link in the banner and you'll be taken to a marketplace. Download a sample. If you do complete the purchase, let me know. I want to thank you personally. Otherwise, that's it from me. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith. I'm the host of the Scars and Guitars podcast series. There's a message that'll follow this about the book. I'd really appreciate it if you could stick around and have a bit of a listen to that. But until next time, it is a very goodbye for now.
This is Eric Rattan of Cannibal Corpse. You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast with Andrew Mackay-Smith.
I've been the host of the Scars and Guitars podcast since 2017. The first musician I interviewed for the show was David Vincent from Morbid Angel, and things have just snowballed from there. In all, I've posted almost 650 podcast episodes featuring conversations with many of the leading lights of rock, heavy metal, and beyond. It just got to a point where I thought, I need to write a book about all this, so that's exactly what I did. In Scars and Guitars Volume 1, you'll read a heap of deep reveals and commentary, such as Des Fafara talking about Coal Chamber and why the band will never return.
You know, if you're a band just starting out, you need to hear me. Do not start a band with partners. Ever.
Yeah, wise words there. Sage advice, mate, for anybody.
Don't ever, because I can't go do Coal Chamber right now unless I get others involved.
Phil Anselmo talks about the episode in his career which gives him the greatest sense of accomplishment.
I think the staying power of the fans and the staying power of the songs, you know, whether it's Pantera, Down, or Superjoint, the fans remember the songs.
Alex Skolnick from Testament confirms that, yes, playing the guitar in Ozzy's band is anything but an ordinary gig. Will Silent Oz from Dimmu Borgir write a book? Pa from Sabaton gives advice to people who want to start a band.
Look at the team around you, look at the bandmates. If the guys want to be on the stage, then it's all cool. If the guys want to be backstage, then it's not going to be cool.
Current and former members of Cradle of Filth discuss the band's seminal 90s material. Read about the reaction to George Lynch and Mark from Suicide Silence's comments when they throw shade at then President Donald Trump.
We have this idiotic monster, you know, this egotistical, self-aggrandizing, complete piece of shit in there. I just can't understand how we've gotten to this place.
And yeah, we kicked a hornet's nest with Sepultura. Percussive overlord Gene Hoglan talks about recording with Chuck Schuldiner.
Chuck was always, he was very open-minded, and he was into having his musicians that were playing with him just reach out for the best stuff that they had.
Phil Campbell from Motorhead discusses what it takes to get sober. John Five answers his critics who dismiss his tenure with Marilyn Manson.
You know, my name is John Five, and Manson gave me that name, and I had some of the best years of my life in that band and learned a lot.
And we get the lowdown on Treyarch Zagtoth from those who would know, including his mother. All across Scars and Guitars Volume 1, there are moments of tension, relief, tragedy, exhilaration, and throughout it all, you'll obtain insight that I believe no one else has managed to obtain from many of your favourite artists. So treat yourself. Scars and Guitars Volume 1 is currently available as an ebook with a print edition on the horizon. Follow the links attached and download a sample. I'm sure you'll be compelled to read the whole book.